Hello and welcome to the Palace to the Core podcast. My name is Stephen. Thank you for joining me as always. I'm going to be talking about the game against West Ham today. So if you haven't seen the game, or if you haven't seen the commentary, do go and check that out first, as I will be doing things that would spoil the scoreline and the game for you. So make sure you check that out first. And let's get on to it, shall we? The team was very similar to the team that has been put out in the previous games so far, with the exception of no Schlupp. AU was up front with Zaha and Benteke, and then you had MacArthur, Kayute, and Gallagher in the middle, and at the back you had Mitchell, you had Anderson, you had Gehi, and you had Ward, and at the back you had Gaeta. And the game started not quite how you would normally want it to start. You know, Palace have traditionally, or certainly over the last year, been the type of team that comes out and presses really hard and tries to make something happen in the early minutes of the game. Unfortunately, that didn't happen in this game, and West Ham came out very strongly and started to press their advantage very quickly. You know, they are a very good team, they're well organised, and David Moyes has got them playing very well with a lot of confidence, and that showed in the first half. For large periods of this first half, we were being penned back, and we did try to break out and create chances, but in the most part, they were holding us back. And on 23 minutes, a shot came in and was heading for the goal. Gaeta missed it, and luckily Joel Ward was on the end of it, and he managed to clear it off the line. Which was a very good response for us, definitely. It didn't stop anything for long, however, because they continued to pressurise our goal, and on 39 minutes, Fornals came in and took the shot, and it was a goal. And it was not exactly against a run of play, because they'd had most of the possession in that first half. And it was, when I was looking at it, I have to say I was a little bit not disappointed, a little bit uneasy that this could be a goal route for us, because they were certainly on top and had more than one chance to score. We did have a couple of half chances in the first half, but we didn't really have a lot to do in terms of attacking in the first half, which was a little bit disappointing. And so it went into the first half with them 1-0 behind, with us 1-0 behind, I should say. And I would say we were trying to play well. I mean, Zaha, again, he was losing the ball at times and the passes were going astray, but he did look like he was trying. He was trying hard to get something to happen, to make something happen, but the West Ham players were very tight on him, and it made it difficult for him to do anything. So I could see he was trying, though. He wasn't just not there to make up the numbers. He was actually trying to get the ball into the box and to make things happen. Okay, so second half started, and I don't know what Patrick Vieira said to the team in the half-time interval, but they came out a lot better. They were a lot more organised, a lot more direct. They tried to break away a lot quicker than they had done in the first half. And even though West Ham was still having good periods of possession and trying to create chances on goal, we were starting to come back into the match a little bit and trying to create things that were going to lead to a goal. At least we were starting to create the beginnings of chances, shall we say. Although I was a bit concerned at the time that, we haven't really scored. Well, I haven't scored any goals in the Premier League up until that point this year, and so I did wonder where goals were going to come from, because it was just one of those things at the moment. We can't seem to get the ball in the back of the net. However, in the 58th minute, that all changed when Zaha crossed the ball into the box, then Teke headed it across, and then Gallagher managed to do a kind of a twist half twist on the ground and volleyed it back across the goal past the goalkeeper. It was a fantastic goal, and it certainly had no space to work in, so it was a really good effort, and it was a brilliant goal for him. First goal as a Palace player, and certainly it was a good way to start your account with the team. I have to say that for sure. And then a little bit later on 66 minutes, Benteke had another chance. It was crossed in, and he managed to get his head on it, but it went just over the bar, which was disappointing, obviously, because with Benteke, you kind of expect that if he's going to be on his head, he's going to have at least an opportunity to hit it on target. But it was a good chance, and it showed that we were playing a lot better and starting to create definitive chances rather than just half chances by that point. However, just after that, on 68 minutes, Antonio scored a goal, and it was, I wouldn't say it was bad defending. It was perhaps a little bit sloppy by us at the back, but it was a good goal. and at that point they were 2-1 up, and it was quite an open game by that point. I mean, although they were still trying to press us really hard, it was a fairly open game, which was good to see. It was good to see that against a team like West Ham, who have played very well, we were starting to get a foothold into the game, and that was absolutely fantastic. But on 70 minutes, we got ahead of myself there. On 68 minutes, we conceded a second goal. Unfortunately, Antonio got a header in. Antonio scored the goal, and it was again another one of those goals that they'd worked up very well. It was a lot of passing backwards and forwards in the box, and eventually Antonio got his foot on it and managed to side foot it really into the goal. So, but we were kind of running backwards and forwards, not quite sure how to deal with it or who was going to deal with it. So it was a little bit of our mistake there. But it was good play by West Ham anyway. They did play well to get that second goal. But it didn't last very long, because on 70 minutes, the ball came into the box, came into Gallagher, who managed to swivel and take another shot and again get another goal, his second goal of the game, and the second goal for Crystal Palace. It was a great goal, and it shows that he has got a lot of skill on the ball and he can score goals, because those were both easy goals to take. They were difficult chances and he took them both, which was fantastic to see, definitely. And then it stayed at 2-2, and it stayed at 2-2 until the end of the game, which was fantastic for us, because up until the first half had ended, I did think that we were going to lose that game, and lose it perhaps quite heavily. Although there were a couple of other things that happened late on. Gehi had a header which he just headed over the bar. It's late on in the second half. It could have given us 3 points, and he looked very upset about it. And obviously that is going to be the case. But it was a good chance. Just a shame he couldn't put it on target at least, because it might have been 3 points for us. So we earned, I think, enough in that second half to get 3 points. Although people will probably say that we deserved a point each, but I think we created enough chances to get 3 goals in the second half, definitely. And there were a couple of things which I wanted to talk about. Firstly, it was I've been one of those people that have not really backed Joel Ward. I've said before that he's slow and that he's not really up to the pace of it. Yesterday he played really well. I have to say, I have to hold my hands up, say he played well. Goal line clearance notwithstanding, he did have some good chances to block players and to stop balls coming into the box, and he was working really hard yesterday, and all credit to him. He did a fantastic job. And the other thing I want to mention, which I mentioned just now actually, was Zaha. He was trying really hard. You could see the passion that was in his eyes when we scored, and that's what makes me think that maybe he's just having a bad run of form. I'll be critical of him. I'll admit to that, but I'm wondering whether he's just had a bad run of form, and that he's just trying to get back into the game again, because he was certainly trying to make things happen for us, and he helped with the first goal, and I think that it's going to be difficult for him. I think the first part of the season, if he doesn't get his form back. But with Lacey coming in, and hopefully Eze coming in soon, it might give him the push that he needs to improve his form, and he might get a bit more luck coming in front of goal and when he gets the ball. So we'll have to wait and see, but hopefully that will be the case. Also, we've just signed Hughes from Wolves as well, which is supposed to be a good bit of business for us. I mean, he's a midfielder, and it makes you wonder why we need another midfielder. But I think what Vieira's looking at is he wants midfielders who are going to be able to score goals, because I think that the front players, strikers, shouldn't just be responsible for scoring the goals. They have to come from somewhere else as well. And I think that one of the reasons he's brought Hughes and Gallagher in, as we saw against West Ham, Gallagher can score goals, so he can contribute to the team's goal tally, just as I'm sure Lacey can as well. And so Hughes, I think, going in there as well will be a good asset for us. Who he will replace, or how Vieira will change it around, I don't know. But he looks like he's going to be available for selection after the international break, along with Lacey. And hopefully Eze not far afterwards. Certainly, it looks like it's going to be before the end of the year. Hopefully that will be the case. Not sure on the situation regarding Nathan Ferguson, but I know that he's got an Achilles injury now, so hopefully he'll be able to get back into full fitness, because he hasn't had the best of luck at all, unfortunately. He's had a really bad time of it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we've been linked to a number of other players, as you can imagine. I think we've made 7 signings now this season. So we've signed a number of players, and as you would expect, the press are like, "Oh, Palace are in for this person, Palace are in for that person." It happens every year anyway. But with the recent plethora of players that we bought, it's going to be even worse. I'll wait and see who we actually definitely get. The club didn't really announce Hughes before Vieira did. Vieira was asked about Hughes, and he said that he didn't think he'd be ready before the international break, but he looked forward to working with him. So he kind of broke it before the club did, and that seems to be the way lately, that things happen. But hopefully we'll hear something on the grapevine about another player coming in. Do we need a striker? I think we probably do. I think we need someone who's got a bit of form in terms of scoring goals at the moment, and that might push AU and Benteke to maybe do a little bit more to try and secure their place in the team. Because at the moment, we've only really got those two that we've got at the front. So it's like they're going to be chosen most of the games because they're the only 2 really good strikers on paper that we've got. So hopefully things will continue to improve. We've got a game against Tottenham coming up, and that's going to be fun. Hopefully they're going to be not in the best frame of mind, and we'll be able to do something with them as well. Certainly I didn't think that we were going to get anything more than a draw against West Ham, but we almost won the game. So I think that who knows, we could be in for a situation where we can take on these big teams and actually get a result out of it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, and you're watching it on YouTube, then please do like and subscribe, because that really does help the channel. Leave any comments about what you think happened against West Ham, your thoughts about whether it was good or bad, or any general thoughts about it. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please remember to follow along and to rate and review the podcast if you can, because that really does help my channel as well. And that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you have a good time, and until then, bye bye.